where the president basically outlined and said, look, things would be a lot worse. We would have lost a lot more people if we had not done the things that we needed to do. So I want to close, if I can, to say that today is the official day of the remembrance of the Holocaust. Last year we held a remembrance ceremony with survivors and liberators, and it was a very moving ceremony for me, I know. Growing up, I heard about the experiences from my dad, Dick DeWine, who saw combat in France, Germany, and Austria as a private in the Army during World War II. My dad kept up with the men he served with in his unit, K Company. Fran and I still very much enjoy talking with Jim Moore. Jim, I don't know if you're in Missouri watching this or not, but I want to give you a shout out. Dad served with Jim. Merle Green, also in Texas, the wife of the late Carl Green, with whom my dad served as well. And so Merle, I hope maybe you may be watching out there as well. Dad and members of his company K arrived at the Dachau concentration camp in Germany just days after it has been liberated. I've never figured out whether it's the second or third day, but it was right in that area. My dad did not talk a lot about the war, but I remember him telling me on numerous occasions about the horror that he saw when he came into the Dachau camp. More than 30,000 people, we now know, perished at the hands of the Nazis there. When Dad was there, I remember later on he told me that when he was there, he talked about the ovens that he saw, that the Nazis used to burn the bodies of so many of the prisoners. Even into his 80s, Dad still vividly pictured in his mind the devices they used to slide the bodies into the ovens. He told me about going into a room and seeing fixtures on the walls that looked like shower heads. And those at the camp said that the victims were taken into these rooms, told they were going to take a shower, given the soap, and then the gas started coming out. Dad also remembered walking down the road near the camp shortly after he got there and encountering a weak, terribly thin man who had a short time before been a prisoner at the camp. My dad and his buddies talked to him, gave him food, gave him cigarettes, and they asked him if they could take his picture. Dad said that he said yes. And what the man said was, as long as I can take it with one of you, with one of the U.S. soldiers. Dad took the picture that we're showing here today. He relayed the story of Dachau to warn us about the powers of hate and the importance of standing up to that hate. We need to remember that each and every day. We'll see you all tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Thank you.
We now join our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
When they have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no time for themselves. Now, in addition to experiencing anxiety and the uncertainty of this pandemic, moms have been tasked with a new impossible role of teacher. This is just not natural for some mothers. This is uncharted territory for many of my guests, including Kimberly, who says with 5 children and a total of 15 different lesson plans, her mental health issues are just rearing their ugly head right now. Dana is the mother of 3 who I talked to earlier, and she gets angry with her 5-year-old for writing the number 2